Looks like a wet Saturday, and I'm not complaining about the rain because we sure did need it. But the temperature dropped down to 55 degrees is a little bit unexpected, and I'm cold. We went from well over 100, it was probably, I think it was 103, down to 55. So a little bit cold all of a sudden, but the rain sure has been nice. Everything's greened up again, and so I'm gonna bring the cows out here on this pasture this morning, and the weeds are up, but everything's good and green again. So we'll get this gate open, call them over here. Come on, cows. It's all yours. Come on. Come on. Come on, cows. Down here. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Come on. What are you doing down there? Come on. Come on. Come on. Yeah, the gate's over here. You gotta walk for it. Come on. Come on. Come on. Let's go. What are you looking at? Food's that way. Come on. They haven't been out on this pasture in about a month. Come on. Hey. You guys got the whole pasture to yourselves. So she's a little protective. So is he. But if you look right there, now you can hear it. She actually hatched one out. I'm just waiting for it to pop its head out again. Oh, there it is, right there. It's unusual for the sheep not to be up here, so let's see if we can figure out where they're hiding at. I know they were down here. Usually I lock them up behind the machine shed there. Just to show you how dry it's been. That was down at least 3 feet, and it's rained 3 days straight, and we're still down. Come on! It's not common for them to all go out this far, so I was a little concerned, but they're fine. They just went out to Pop's meadow out there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They're all there, and then Henry's up in the barn. Where you guys been? Where you guys been? So a lot of people ask why I put bells on everything, and we abut well over 1,000 acres of preservation land, and it's all woods. It's heavily forested. It doesn't get harvested but once every probably 30, 40 years, and it's dark and gloomy, and typically when my animals are out, it's the worst possible conditions. It's usually at night, pouring rain, something might have scared them, and they hunker down. So the animals go out into this gloomy forest that's really dense. There's not a lot of underbrush because the canopy is so thick, but Most of my animals are brown, and we're going out there at night in the worst possible conditions, usually kind of like this, but darker. And so the bells are what helps us find the animals when they're out there in the woods. And I know my wife has criticized me a million times about the bells, and so when the animals come up for the winter, the bells all come off. They're right in the yard here. When the animals are in the barn, the bells come off. And so there's been a lot of research done about bells, and some of it's been contradictory to one another. The overall conclusion is basically that having the bells, they don't typically graze as well. Sometimes it confuses them a little bit, but they get used to it. They're used to their own bells, and so the reason that I keep the bells on them is mostly because when they get out, it's easy to find them. And the sheriff has told me, you know, they've been for days out in the woods looking for cows, and sometimes they never find them. There's been cattle in the neighborhood that got run over. They just go out into this woods and they disappear, and then they show up miles away in the middle of the night. And so I just don't want the animals getting out on the road, getting hit, getting lost, being coyote bait, all the bad things that can happen to animals and people if they hit them. So the fences are good, but everybody who has a farm, at some point their animals get out. They just either plow through it or whatever. And so that's why we have all the bells. And so I know some people disagree and don't like it, but I'm probably not gonna change my mind about the bells. So I'm gonna go up and get these animals fed, and then I'm gonna show you some footage of getting the last of the hay in. And so I think going forward, I'm just gonna buy my hay. With the cost of equipment and fuel, and then the labor, trying to get people to help has been a problem. And so I can usually round up my kids for a little bit to help me get the animals and get the hay in, you know, but going out in the field and rounding it up and everything else, I think those days are over for me. So we're just going to be getting round bales from now on, and I'll get the kids to help me get them off the truck and roll them in. And so anyway, I got some footage of the last hay we've done. And other than that, it's been pretty rainy, and I've got some tractor videos coming up, but I've got to get out here and finish shooting those. And then I've got some videos on the fields, growing grass, fertilizing, a bunch of things. So today's just kind of touching base, and also this is the 100th video, 40,000 views, and I'm like just a very few subscribers short of 400. So today's kind of my push to get the 400 subscriber mark. And I love the questions, so if everybody leave the comments, the questions, keep them coming, and I'll respond to them as quickly as I can. And I really appreciate everybody watching, so stick around. I think it's going to rain all week, and then there's the parade at the end of the week, the Ossipee Valley Fair. This will be the tractor parade, and I'll put this 73 140 in that. This is my latest acquisition. I got this on my birthday, which was Wednesday. So this is my 73. And I got rid of one cub, and I've got another one to go. And then the hay and equipment is for sale. So anyway, let's pan over to some hay footage.
Equilibrium!
Keep pulling out. Must have fallen out of the nest. Chance. Stop chasing.